You know those cars that make you stop and say, who in their right mind would touch that thing? Well, that's exactly what my friend said when I introduced them to Project Rust Bucket, a McLaren 570S, or what was left of one. The once glorious supercar had been abandoned in a barn, buried under years of dust, rust, and an unfortunate infestation of squirrels. Yes, squirrels. Why a McLaren, you ask? I mean, who wouldn't want to bring a beast like this back to life? Plus, I'd always dreamed of owning one, but let's face it, buying a new one wasn't in the cards. So when I stumbled upon this derelict beauty for a fraction of its worth, I thought, why not? Spoiler, there were plenty of reasons why not. Step 1. Assessing the damage. Let's just say it was worse than I thought. The interior smelled like wet socks. The engine was a glorified paperweight. And the paint, well, calling it paint was generous. It was more like a patchwork of rust and regret. Cleaning out the interior was an adventure. I found things I never thought I'd see in a McLaren. A family of acorns, an old candy wrapper dated 2015, and a screwdriver that somehow fused with the carpet. My first thought? This car has stories. Mostly bad ones, but stories nonetheless. Next came the engine. Have you ever tried to remove a rusted bolt that refuses to budge, even with every tool in the garage? It's like arguing with a toddler. It's stubborn, exhausting, and makes you question your life choices. But with enough WD-40 and sheer determination, I managed to dismantle the engine. Piece by piece, I replaced what was broken, cleaned what was salvageable, and begged the car to forgive me for the years it had been neglected. Painting the car was a highlight. I chose a deep metallic orange, a nod to McLaren's signature color. Watching that first coat of paint go on was magical, like seeing a phoenix rise from the ashes, or in this case, from squirrel droppings. The moment of truth arrived, the first engine start. I'd been dreading it. What if it didn't work? What if all my blood, sweat, and tears, and trust me, there were all three, were for nothing? I turned the key or, well, pushed the start button, and held my breath. At first, there was a cough, a sputter, and then roar. That V8 engine came to life like it had been waiting for this moment as much as I had. I may or may not have shed a tear. Okay, fine, I definitely did. The first drive was everything I'd hoped for and more. The car glided down the road like it had never been abandoned, the engine purring like a content lion. Every gear shift felt like a triumph, every mile a celebration. As I parked the car back in my garage, I couldn't help but reflect on how much this restoration had taught me. It wasn't just about fixing a car. It was about proving to myself that even the most broken things, whether it's a car, a dream, or even a person, can be brought back to life with enough patience and love. So, if you're ever staring down a rust-covered heap of metal and wondering if it's worth the effort, let me tell you this, it absolutely is. Because sometimes, the most beautiful things are hidden under layers of grime, just waiting for someone to believe in them. And hey, if a McLaren 570S can come back from the brink, so can we.